Okay. Madam Chair, the next number of sections, we're getting into medical cannabis. There's a House Section 74 through 98 and Senate Sections 50 through 61. There are a number of minor differences, and there are sections that are brought in just to conform to some of the major changes that either the House or the Senate are making. So I'm going to try to highlight the major changes or differences in the two sides. So the first off is that the House specifies that hemp is not marijuana. The Senate does not have that. That makes a difference in terms of how marijuana relates to certain criminal penalties and whatnot. The next major difference is the House adds raw cannabis as an allowable form, and the Senate does not.
Senator Benson?
Thank you, Madam Chair, and the Senate will object.
Well, okay. Well, Senator, I guess I'd like to have a little discussion about that, but I guess what I would suggest is to let Ms. Kavanaugh go through the section, and then maybe we can circle back and talk about this, and maybe there's some other issues as well. So please continue.
Another change is that the House expands who can be a registered designated caregiver. So anybody who is 18 or older, currently it's 21, and it allows any patient who is in need of assistance in administering medical cannabis. So this would also bring in somebody's spouse or, well, that's it. So the House or the Senate does not have this. The House also, let's see, that makes changes in what is a qualifying medical condition. They are adding conditions. First of all, they remove the specific qualifications surrounding cancer and terminal illness. They remove that, so having cancer or a terminal illness would be a qualifying condition. They also add any chronic condition for which an opiate could otherwise be prescribed, and they add chronic pain or intractable pain as, again, also qualifying medical conditions. The Senate does not do that. The House specifies that the registration agreement between a manufacturer and a commissioner is not transferable. The Senate does not do that. Let's see. Another major change, the House requires designated caregivers to have a criminal background check renewed every 2 years. And they also allow a registered designated caretaker to be also a registered patient. I think both the House and the Senate allow for a healthcare practitioner to conduct an assessment for recertification of a qualifying condition via telemedicine. Both the House and the Senate increase the distribution facilities that a manufacturer must operate from 4 to 8. The Senate requires hemp obtained from a manufacturer to be laboratory tested, and the House does not. The summary says the House provides for security measures and to prevent theft, and it says the House or the Senate does not, but the Senate does, in that the Senate changes or adds to the definition of medical cannabis any hemp that's received from a manufacturer from a licensed hemp grower. So all the requirements that are in effect for medical cannabis would also apply to hemp acquired from that manufacturer. So they'd be treated in the same way. Let's see. Another major difference is House allows one manufacturer to transport medical cannabis or other products to another manufacturer for distribution. The Senate doesn't have that. And both House and the Senate extend the maximum supply that a manufacturer may dispense to a patient from 30-day supply to 90-day supply. The Senate only allows a manufacturer to staff a transport vehicle with only one employee if they're only transporting hemp. And both the House and the Senate authorize the Commissioner to execute data sharing arrangements with the Commissioner of Agriculture to verify the licensing information, inspections, and compliance related to licensed hemp growers. House only, I think all those are one. The other major change is the House allows hospice providers and supervised living facilities and other health facilities regulated by the Commissioner to adopt reasonable restrictions on the use of medical cannabis. I believe it's only now just nursing facilities. And I think those are the major differences.
Thank you, Ms. Kavanaugh.